It's Sanctuary of Reality time again, folks. My comic review series is back, and so is Cerebus himself. Now let's delve into Cerebus issue 115, chapter 2 of Jaka's story, and the beginning of its first subbook, which is titled Pogrom's Progress. Cerebus arrives at an incredibly small village on the long and winding mountain side. He spots a tavern and heads inside for an ale. There, Pud Withers, the patron of the pub/grocery, thinks in great detail about what he's going to say to a woman that he's in love with. The entire conversation, mainly him giving her both apples and honey, which are hard to come by in their location, plays out in text form for us to read until Cerebus interrupts. Pud fetches Cerebus an ale, as requested, but when he tries to pay with his last gold coin, the sight of the incredibly valuable currency completely freaks out the nervous-tempered man, as it's worth more than his whole establishment. The woman of Pud's fantasies enters, having come to shop at his market, though the conversation he envisioned doesn't go as planned thanks to being frazzled by seeing the coin. Turns out the woman is Jaka. Cerebus spots her, and they share a long hug, as she's overjoyed to see that he is indeed alive. She invites him over for tea, to wait until her husband Rick returns from job searching so they can finally meet. Cerebus initially flees when this is posited to him, but Jaka convinces him to stay. There, she talks about the arrival of the Cerebus forces and explains how it led to her and Rick to move to such an isolated community, where she dances at Pud's pub. Cerebus has a question for her about her. What is it? In the prose flashbacks, 5-year-old Jaka is having an off day of riding magic. She can't bring herself to do the pageant game at all. She soon winds up standing in front of the hobby horse, remaining incredibly still. What will be her next move? Pud Withers is an interesting character. He's both the embodiment of the allure that Jaka has over men, and he's also, as Dave puts it, a bit of a representation of the social awkwardness of a typical comic fanboy. So he's both a stereotype, and I'd say there's a bit more to him than that. Underneath his surface, there's both menace and pity to be found, as you'll see as the book goes along. So he's interesting in that regard to me. He's a fascinating character without being too overly deep. We get a trickle of the information about the state of East under Cerebus' rule in this issue. We had a little bit of it during the judge's monologue before, but it's a slow snowball effect. Little by little, the pieces of the bigger picture are coming into play. I don't know how long Cerebus was gone from Earth when he went on his ascension. I don't think anybody does, really. There's some people theorize it was a year, some just a couple months. Maybe it was 6 months. Maybe that is the reason why I took 6 months off of this show, was to represent that. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. But no, we never quite find out how long he was gone. But it's long enough for the Cerebus to take over, and now they're in control, and that's the situation we're in. So that's important for later, but right now you don't need to know as much. But you'll learn little by little, and by the end of this book, by the end of Jaka's story, you'll learn quite a bit. Next time, Cerebus meets Rick, whether he likes it or not.